with her current practice. So we're going to get ready to do that. And we might hear an echo of my voice in just a moment. Just give me a second to get everything set up. And send your questions, anything that you would like to know about, anything that you would like to ask. And we're also now streaming live to YouTube. So if you want to pick us up on YouTube as you go do other things today, we're now available on YouTube, a little bit more maybe portable. And so we have that rolling right now. And we're just going to get everything just sort of set up here. So Lisa La, we're going to invite you here. I'm going to invite Lisa LaMontagne, who is just such a light and such a delight. And I'm so excited to have her talk about her work in general and how the genius has now been integrated into the wonderful work that she's doing, what she's finding, what she's experiencing, just generally what she's up to. So really excited to talk with her. Let me just send some permissions here to join the feed here. And hopefully we'll be talking with her in a moment. And do send your questions, things you'd like to work on. Hi, Lisa, how are you?
So good to see you, Ariel.
Oh my gosh, we're so blessed by your presence today. Where are you joining us from?
I come to you from sunny Southern California, and I got to tell you, a couple moments ago, I felt the ground shake. So I was about ready to hit the floor. I thought we were going to have an earthquake.
What was it? Do you know?
I'm not sure. Maybe a sonic boom, maybe something to what Miss McDonald was referring to. Who knows?
Yeah, just really in synchronicity with what she was talking about, huh?
I tell you. And I have to say, I did have one of those PCR tests, and listening to her scares me. But what I do know is I have the genius in my hand, and I've been able to go to freedom rallies and stand beside people who were, I could feel what I was in a field that wasn't safe, came home, ran my genius and balanced myself out. So I just wanted to express that.
That's fine. That I think, we don't know all the answers, and Karen has her things that she's surmising about. We don't know everything. We can't know for sure what is in every swab. We don't know, but also the fact that you're feeling better, the fact that you cleared it energetically, like all of those things are valid and significant. So, and you're looking radiant and wonderful. So I think you're doing okay.
I'm so excited to be here with you today because I began this adventure back in April, and I was coming out of the field of education after 25 years of being influence on young people. And I was losing my vision. I was losing my eyesight. I was literally going blind. I've spent my lifetime struggling to see, most of my life not even be able to see my fingernails, my hand extended.
Oh my goodness.
So as I was heading into this part of my life where I knew I wanted to retire from this profession, and I think it was the electromagnetics from the technology was affecting me, but I didn't know that at the time. So to be able to stumble into this field, to transition into this new practice, and honestly, to look at you and to say thank you, because I could barely see, and I knew I wanted to learn this practice, and I reached out to you, and I said to you, can you help me find the content? Because I can't use my eyes to locate the content, but I can sure use it to master it. And you handed it to me. And I will be eternally grateful to you for that, because this is bigger than just quantum. This is a really powerful collection of people. And I'm so glad to meet you.
Yes, well, we're so grateful to have you. Just tell us a little bit about what your healing practice is and how you're working with people day to day.
Yeah, I'm a very musical person. So I actually came at this through the lens of my fluting and harping and hong drumming. And so as I meet with people and connect with them with the different practices that I have explored, soul contract work, Reiki, shamanic practices, it became very clear to me that this quantum bioresonance was really amazing, energetically, physically, emotionally, multidimensionally. So I've been able to use it initially for my own health, for those that I love, to just cover the expense of me learning this practice. And I've already been able to turn it into the most beautiful gift. I feel like a fairy everywhere I go, Ariel. I and because I bought the whole library, because my intuition said, you need it all, I think it allows me to approach any situation in a very organic and unique way. And I'm really grateful. So I found myself initially helping a friend with Parkinson's, who had such faith in me that he stopped taking his meds, which made me freak out. But I realized that I could use my remedy plates to match his meds, and he's doing great. To helping a friend who broke his ribs when he crashed on his mountain bike, to really all kinds of things. My friend makes.
Tell us a little bit about each, like sort of maybe slow down and just have us tell us each story, because each story is very significant. What happened with the mountain biker?
Oh, he was riding his mountain bike and he snapped the forks of his bike. Now, I'm a mountain biker myself, and I broke my ribs last summer before I got into this. And it took me about, at least 3 or 4 months to heal my rib. I couldn't even get up off my yoga mat. So my friend took me 2 days to get him to see me, but I knew I could help him with the quantum. He broke 4 ribs. And by the end of his 2-hour session, he was laughing, and he looked at me and said, I got my sense of humor back. Now, he's an acupuncturist, and if you've ever broken your ribs before, you can't even breathe, let alone laugh. So we looked at each other, and I just knew I was onto something phenomenal and special. So moved on to putting frequencies in chocolates for a friend who makes organic chocolates, putting frequencies in all these beautiful creations that I make. I make, jewelry. I make drums, I infuse the frequencies into the crystals. I mean, I make orgonite devices. It's ridiculous what we can put our frequencies into and just drop them around the world. My neighbors
show us show some of your jewelry a little bit more up to the camera. That looked like it was beautiful.
Oh, it's hard to hold because it's on a tray.
Oh, okay. Okay, we can see it. Okay, got it. Okay, we don't want it to fall. Okay, wonderful. I didn't know. Well, gosh, you're busy. I didn't know you were up to all these amazing things since you got your genius. You've been busy.
Girl, I can't stop. And I realized I can use my Quanta capsule to mass share frequency. So when I see the cheming in the sky above my little head, like it's going on like crazy, I send it to all my friends in the canyon, and we try to respond back. So
does it seem to clear them?
Donald. I think so. My sweetheart, the chem came to the top. It was his 777. So he's like my barometer for what's happening in the canyon around me. So I really see this as a tool for us taking our sovereignty, our freedom, and our independence back, and to make better these institutions around us that are basically needing to evolve. It's a great way to step into a new profession. It's a good time for anybody to reinvent themselves. I am so grateful.
Yeah, well, you're taking it in a very positive way. When you say the canyon, you mean in Ojai?
Where I live in Ojai. Yes.
And how are things there in general? What's the state? Is it because it's a smaller location of like-minded people that you've been pretty okay during all of this?
I think so, pretty much. I think something about Ojai, it's a lot like maybe Sedona.
Right.
It's got special vortexes or something that protect me here. Mm-hmm. I'm grateful, and I feel like I'm in such a wonderful position to help people, and that's what I want to do. So thank you.
No, it's a pleasure. What is your approach, and why don't we get someone who would like to volunteer, and just why don't we go through a scan with them?
Okay. I'm honest with my clients. I tell them I'm relatively new at this. I don't see myself as an expert, but a pioneer. So I take every interaction as what it is, and we just unfold it miraculously together. Okay.
Of course, I would love that. So let's take some volunteers. If you'd like to volunteer, put your date of birth into the chat, and please do be mindful if you have a microphone so we can talk with you. So just make sure we have that. And you mentioned somebody else before, right before the mountain biker, you mentioned somebody else that you helped.
Well, I'm thinking of a woman who came to me because of the jab, her pressure, her decision to get jabbed, and her discomfort with it. But the funny thing is, when she left, that was the last thing she thought about. I heard from her 24 hours after her session. And, in our conversation as we had met, I saw frequencies come up regarding her hips, and I said to her, "What's up with your hips?" And she said to me, 20 years ago, I was in a horrible horse accident. She said she was on a horse and the horse bucked.
Oh,
and
wow.
She, not only did she slide off the back, but she hit a boulder, and the horse slid and landed between her pelvis. So she cracked her pelvis and then had a baby a year later. And so I know. And she came to me, like I said, for the jab. not for totally forgetting that she's had 20 years of horrible pain in this whole area of her pelvis. So when I heard from her the next day, she left this recording on my phone. I swear I cried 3 times. The first time, 3 times I listened to it. She must have used the word miracle several times, just saying how her scarring had disappeared, her hips had adjusted, muscles in her legs were working that hadn't worked before. And she, most of all, and what all of my clients have said, that there's a release from this PTSD trauma that we've all been walking around with. She described for 20 years, but I would say all of us as a planet for the last 2, that I think is probably the best gift that we've all gotten who've experienced these frequencies, a state of peace of mind and centeredness.
Was there anything in particular, or, I mean, often it's just the frequencies themselves. Did you have anything in particular that you either observed or frequencies that you ran for her, flower essences, anything like that?
I always run the flower essences, and I just go with what people tell me. Because I have the whole library, I can really listen and explore. If someone says they broke their ribs, not only will I address their anatomical bones, but the blood flow, the muscles, everything of it, and around it, and even any emotions or ancestral anything, clear it all, like a multi-dimensional, comprehensive approach. It's
That's
fabulous.
really wonderful. Okay, well, we get to see some of that. So we're going to go to Lorraine and speak with her. So Lorraine C, we're going to open up your microphone in just a moment here. And we're just going to take it, one step at a time, and we'll work together collaboratively on this. So,
okay.
Yeah, Lorraine, how are you?
Hi, Ariel.
Hi, how are you today?
I'm good. I'm loving this summit, and I'm loving this morning. Oh, sorry.
Oh, you have some of those furry friends that are loving it in the background too.
Yeah.
That's the UPS. That's their favorite time of the day.
Yeah.
All right, so let's go ahead and get your voice recording. So we're going to have you say your name and then the AEIOU. I will cue you, and I will begin in 3, 2, 1. I'm recording.
Hi, Ariel. My name is Lorraine C. I live in Alberta, Canada, and I've been really enjoying using the Genius on all my family and friends, those in need. And I will finish with AEIOU, AEIOU, AEIOU.
Okay, that was fabulous. And what kinds of things are you working on, or what type of positive change would you like to experience?
I've been working with a lot of people who have had the shot, and I've been working with a lot of people who have had the virus and having a lot of great success. And I've been working on myself a lot and working on my family. And I was just telling my son the other day, I don't think there's a day that goes by that I am not using the Genius on a human or an animal. And as I was helping my son paint his living room, we had the Genius running on him. So it's an all-day event with me.
That's really cool. All right, I love it. So we're going to test your aura, and then I think Lisa is going to be asking you some questions.
Great.
Well, I noticed you're all loving and all about everybody else. So the first thing that I'm going to do is check the flower essences to see where you are emotionally and what support you might need. What do you think about that?
I think that that's a fabulous idea. I absolutely love it. So there they are. We're seeing some rock water at the top.
I got my little chart here. So I'm looking at that. It's about freeing us from old patterns and being flexible and light. How does that sound to you?
Sounds great.
Okay, let me look at my little chestnut cheat sheet here. Chestnut bud, I see, second on the list. Learning from past mistakes, allowing you to birth and grow into a new direction, your next best expression. How does that feel to you?
Always looking for the next best me, always.
And then I see water violet comes up pretty high for you as well. And that's about being comfortable with your independence and being self-sufficient and being physical, being alive. How does that sound?
That's me.
Okay. I would love to go to the bottom area. Let's see what's in the blues.
Absolutely. Let's see what's in blue. I love this.
Check out the blues. Agrimony. Oh, and then we'll just put them all the reds and blues in the tray, but let's check out agrimony
Okay.
first. Moving beyond a tendency to be happy when you're not. Oh my God, are we tired of that, ladies?
Yes, we are.
May I drop that in your tray?
Absolutely.
Okay, and then I see Holly shows up too, and that's about reconnecting to your heart, finding that love and compassion, sticky, tough times. May we drop that in?
Absolutely.
And then I also see Walnut shows up. It's about transitions and being able to handle these touchstones of change, trajectory changes. May we drop that in?
Yes.
Okay. I also love the frequencies that support the flower essences. So I always make sure to drop in the genius partner frequencies with each of those. But the fast way to do it is just to go straight to the Nogiers, throw them all in, all the Solfegios.
And what actually, what Lisa is talking about is on her desk reference success cards, there are actually a whole column of things that match up with the flower essence so that you will know what other frequencies to add to the tray that match and will enhance that particular flower essence. So if you have those desk reference success cards, they come with our upgraded package, with our elite package and all the higher packages, and they also are available on the website at geniusbiofeedback.com under the desk reference success cards. And I'm glad that they've been coming in handy for you, Lisa. That's really cool.
I need them. I'm trying to think of how to make them last eternally, although they're on wonderful firm cards. So I think next then, can you go back to the main?
To the system overview?
Yes, ma'am. System overview. And then I love sacred geometry. She's such a giver. Let's give her that. And I remember asking you in class, I always get nervous with the sacred geometry. So I'm going to help anybody through that. I would ask you, what am I doing when I put sacred geometry into people's tray? And you would say so sweetly that you're allowing people to drop into their own divine perfection.
Yes.
So would you like some of that?
Say.
So let's do everything red and everything blue.
Okay.
Just to give her that natural, multidimensional flow.
Yeah. And, you know, the Vesica Pisces being about new beginnings, the energy encouraged to move into new beginnings.
I love that. I love that. Absolutely. Can we put that in twice? Just kidding. Okay, let's go back to the main, please. And, you know, have today's stress. That's always smart.
Today's stress, very smart.
Yes, please. I feel like I'm on a game show all of a sudden. No.
Yeah, I know. Do you want? Yeah, Jeopardy,
no.
right? Inflammation for
reds.
770.
Let's put all the reds and the blues in there. And
absolutely.
Then can we do a deep dive in the libraries for anything inflammation for her?
Let's absolutely do it. Yeah, let's
give her everything inflammation.
Let's do everything inflammation. And I know you saw inflammation at the top, but I almost got this feeling like you felt that inflammation was a sort of a very key issue for her.
Yes. What do you think, expert?
Well, I think you're really tuning in and tapping into her voice and her, and to, you know, just talking with her and just your own gut feeling. I do think that the genius is a beautiful partnership between your intuition and what the things on the genius are saying. And when you use them in partnership, you get amazing results. That's why I just sort of picked up. I had this feeling like you got this instant sense that clearing inflammation was of the utmost importance today.
Thank you. Thank you. And then just because that's 777, I would do that. Just because, oh, was it 715? Oh, okay.
No, it's, let's go ahead and look at them again. It's the one at the top was 777. The reason that it's 777 is a very divine and very interesting, powerful number. I think it is a power number, 777. It is something that the developer thought was so interesting and so significant that he created the scale of the genius from 1 to 777. So 777 on the genius is significant in that it's the highest that you can go to. So there may be some estrogen dominance going on, but look at the one right at the top, Lisa, the emotional connection.
There we go. Bingo.
You nailed it. You just talked about it with the holly, and yeah, you were on it. Okay, so let's
all
go.
The reds and blues. I always tell people when I see a 7-7, the angels help me find the bullseye. That's what I say to them. So they don't have fear with the language. Somebody just asked the question, what's with the animal library? Same kind of thing, right?
Well, we'll talk about that in a second. She may not be a smoker. So if you ever see a smoking addiction, she could have had it in the past. It could be someone that she knows, but also it might not be smoking. It might be something with her lungs. Maybe she doesn't breathe deeply enough. I want everybody who reads biofeedback scans, don't take them literally because they're showing the emerging patterns. They may be showing things that are being picked up in the field. The way that you make a determination is by looking at the patterns overall, seeing the things that are being repeated, talking with your client, asking them for feedback, but never taking one item on the genius as the gospel or a certain piece of information. Does that ring true for you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And I always open those libraries and find there is a seed of truth. It's something very important that that person needs. Thank you.
I think so too. And so animal healing, canine assessment digestion. Now, there's a whole bunch of things that could be happening here. Okay. We don't have to exclude the animal libraries for humans. It can be in here. You can take what you like and leave the rest. The first thing that you could do is just skip the animal library. Don't even look at it or consider it. But we heard what in the background of her house is her dog or her dogs. So this could be something that is in her field because your field with your companion animals, dogs, cats, you are like one field. You know, you've got their stuff, they've got your stuff. You're sharing a lot of energy. There also could be frequencies in here that are true for her as a human that translate as a digestive assessment issue for her as a human being. So don't discount those animal libraries. Oh, this is stupid. Why isn't it coming up? There's often something significant even in that library. What are your thoughts?
Makes perfect sense. I just heard another boom. So if you see my eyes looking funny, no.
Oh my goodness. Okay, keep us posted. If we see your camera shake, we'll know what's going on. Hopefully not.
Ariel, do you see that magnifying glass? Can you type the word inflammation in there so we can?
I would be happy to. Yeah, it sounds like a good thing. All right, so we have lots of inflammation libraries. Which one would you like to look at?
Let's start with the top inflammation assessment, just for guidance.
Perfect. Yep.
So everything red, everything blue, and take care of that EMF too.
Take care of the EMF as well. Very cool. Okay, like your style there. Okay.
I think the EMF is creating our inflammation. I think the EMF is putting our bodies at a temperature that makes these things proliferate. I would like to ask you.
That's actually what Karen talked about. No, and that is actually the finding of Dr. Robert Young, is he's called the people who get the most ill from the thing as having radiation poisoning.
So let's look at the inflammation disturbance reduction. Let's reduce.
Which one? Oh, the reduction. Okay, gotcha.
Yes, everything red. So it's her stomach. So I would put her stomach meridian in as well.
Let's do that. Let's go back and do that.
Let's get that cinnamon and all the blues. Yeah. Shilajit, love, cardamom. Look at that.
She likes all the spices. She's really attracted to those, right?
I'm getting hungry listening.
Let's go to those chakras and look at that.
Yeah. So, I like to give all the chakras. I believe in it's like the spinal energy. I would drop the whole spine in and all chakras.
And
to me, that's
with all the red, green, blue, yellow.
That's the infrastructure that allows the communication. And now let's go back to inflammation.
Absolutely.
Fill it up and
let's
she's
do it.
Good.
Pardon me?
And then she's good.
And then she'll be good. Let's do this one more time. And right here, which one would you like to do next?
Let's do solutions balance. I'm just going to do them all. Everything red, everything blue, and get the histamines too. Yeah.
Okay. And maybe we should do the like the remedies that have some of the herbs. They might even
absolutely.
Be okay, let's do that. And it's red. So we've got the milk thistle, bilberry, which is pretty much blueberry. We've got mangosteen, hawthorn berry, and blood of the dragon. Should we include some of those?
Everything 606 up. Absolutely. The bilberry is good for eyes, right?
Absolutely. Very good for eyes.
I can see the tops of the mountains now, Ariel. I can see the rocks. So yeah.
Have you been working on your vision with the genius?
Every day. I clear my kidneys. I clear my liver. I see better. I clear the pressure from my head from a traumatic blow to my head that I had as a 2-year-old that I didn't even know that I had. And I see better. It's insane.
So wonderful. That is
Thank
wonderful.
you. I can see. Let's keep going.
Okay. All right. So I think you were right about the inflammation. Like that is really, it's from what I see and what I'm reading here, it's an important thing for her to be working on.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. What's next?
Let's look at the well, pancreas, because it's about the sweetness of life. And one of those essences was about living life.
And I noticed that cinnamon was coming up really, really low on that inflammation. That makes me think of blood sugar.
Okay. Okay. So let's support her here. Everything's 600 up. Give her that
600.
599.
Okay.
Yeah. She's a rock for everybody. Let's make sure she can still flow. And all the
Whoa,
blues.
it's got a lot of things coming up here. So this seems like it's spot on.
And the vagus nerve. So that makes me want to look at the cranial nerve library.
Just very cool. Let's do it.
May we? Okay.
Yes, I like how you move in. You allow one library to sort of inform your movement to the next, logical place. I think then it's a journey.
Ariel, it's such an intimate encounter when I meet with people and I look at them and I say, can we go there? Because you just never know what'll pop up. Yep.
Yes, I totally agree. That is the gift of the genius. I think anyone who wants to do this work is naturally curious and wants to have that you're having an experience really with the person. It is like a very close connection with the person. And I think the people who do this work, they really genuinely care about people and really want to help them in this, sort of connection that you're having. You're learning so much and they're learning so much about themselves.
It's empowering.
These are all oculomotor, and trochlear moves it moves the eye muscles. So trochlear does. And
Let's
then
give her everything she needs.
Okay.
One for all of it.
Okay. All right. We'll go for it. And the vagus nerve comes up again, interestingly enough, huh?
Uh-huh.
All right.
And then because of her, I want to check the emotion codes. Just anything that's red. Let's just soften for her.
Absolutely. That sounds like a great idea.
This is a woman of love. We're going to keep her buoyant.
That's beautiful. So the emotion codes, here are all of them. Which one would you like to look at?
Let's get that 738 because that'll clear up the color we saw in the aura and the lung. Let's get everything. Yeah.
Okay. So guilt, panic, depression, anger, indecisiveness, and bitterness. And a little bit of bitterness and resentment often go together.
This is a traumatized planet right now, right? We are all experiencing these emotions. Let's go back to the others.
Absolutely. And anything you want to look at, it is not a problem to keep doing these searches and
cool. Okay, can we stay in the emotion codes? There was another emotion code library.
Oh, let's do it. Let's go right ahead.
Anything red.
Okay, and there's no red, but it looks, you can see spleen and stomach or lung and colon.
Yeah, lung and colon. Yeah, both. Yeah. Yeah, let's just support her all. I'll support it all.
Support it all. Let's do it. Okay, all of the yellows and all of the greens and all of the blues.
I think that's good. I think we 131 we have total now.
Yes.
Does that feel like a good number?
It does.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if I added in the flower essences. I just want to make sure that I did, because I know we were talking at the same time. And I know that those can often be so significant. So let me just make sure oh yeah. Okay, I did. I had added
maybe
them.
One amazing affirmation library.
Okay, like breakthrough to success.
Yeah, something that just really, because she's, holding it down. Okay.
I allow joy in my life. That is really related to the cinnamon and the pancreas and everything you were talking about.
Yes. Let's give her everything red.
Okay. And some of them that are here are, I allow joy in my life. I am ready for the most exhilarating and positive chapter in my life and collect the courage to make it so. I now experience a profound healing and accept it on every level, going down to the lower ones. Let's look at
let's get all the blues.
Absolutely. And when you look at these blues, actually that blue one at the bottom will be the one that you're resonating with the most, which is kind of
Yes.
interesting. I am the one I've been waiting for. That's a good one. I now find the courage. Every cell in my body is happy, healthy, and filled with light and vitality. So those are now all in the tray.
Those feel fabulous to me.
And are we ready to go to progressive insights?
Yes, let's do it. Oh, unless we want to do, oh, no, yeah. No, that's good. Yeah.
It always feels exciting to add more. I can understand that completely.
It's easy not to stop. That's the hard
Oh,
part.
yeah, it's delicious. It's so fun. It's such a great deep dive.
So I want to finish, Ariel, with 2 love stories.
Please.
Amazing things have been happening. 2 things. When I did a set of frequencies for a very dear friend of mine, her 777 was worry. You know, of all the progressive insights, what came to the top was worry. And as I ran her frequencies for her, her little dog, who she loves so much, came up and cuddled with her around her belly. And what she said to me later that she had never shared with me before, she could never get her little dog to snuggle with her before.
Oh.
And what I knew in that moment is when we balance ourselves, we balance those around us who love us too. And that was like, that was precious. But then here's the other one. I was working with a woman recently, and she had mentioned to me, as long married couples might share, you know, dips in their intimacy and connectedness. And it occurred to me, why don't we explore this idea of quantum sexuality? We're living in this time and era where it's so hard to be close and connected, even with those we know and love well. Can you imagine what it must be like to be young and coming of age? So anyway, playing with this concept of quantum sexuality, I ran frequencies for the pair, and they went off on their little vacation, and they came back. I got to tell you, I was more excited for their vacation to end than they were. You know, I wanted to know. And it went really well. She basically said they fell in love again. They reinvented their relationship.
Oh my
and
goodness,
Ariel,
that is amazing.
On 11/11 at 11:11 a.m., I led their vow ceremony for them.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah,
that's incredible.
So that's what I wanted to tell you today.
Yes, that's so wonderful.
Quantum sexuality,
It's
healing.
Beautiful.
It's about healing.
Were there's particular, like, did you run maybe 639 for relationships or some flower essences? And did you take a picture of them together?
Yep. Picture together. I did all the essences. I did the relationship libraries. It was beautiful.
And we have that.
We're onto something, girl.
As well. That's wonderful.
Yep.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to get very popular and with word of mouth when you had that type of an amazing experience.
I think it's a good solution for those of us in a state of social trauma 6 feet apart.
Yes.
Yes.
That's ridiculous. Yeah. Absolutely. And you said you had another story that you wanted to share. What's the second one?
Oh, that was the 2. It was the dog and the.
Oh, it was the 2 together. Okay. No, that's absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
That was the second one.
And
I totally understand.
Just a general happiness of everybody that I work with is the takeaway is just awe. First, they're like, oh, you're cute, huh? Yeah, sure. You know, this. But after I work together with them, they see this as legitimate.
That's incredible. Yeah. I mean, the proof is in the experience, and especially when you're testing people and you're feeding back to them the information that's so relevant for them. And they know that it's true. It's ringing so true. That's part. And then when they get the frequencies and things really begin to shift in their lives, they're just blown away. They don't know always exactly how it works, but they know that it's working.
I know for sure we can help those who have experienced COVID and can't hear and taste. I know for sure we can balance that.
Well, tell us a little bit about that. We'd love to hear. What's your approach? And have you had an experience that has helped?
Yeah, just 2 days ago, my locksmith came and he had trouble hearing and smelling. I said, oh, really? I'll fix that. My gift to you.
That's beautiful, really. So something that we do at the end of a session, which we talked with Beth Foley yesterday, was sort of like this frequency hug. Sometimes when we're giving people frequencies in the progressive insights, we're really taking them through a journey where they're doing a deep dive, and sometimes even sort of walking through the mud and like trying to really, oh my gosh, clear these things. what type of positive or beneficial frequencies could we put up into the quick zap for her to sort of give her sort of this energetic hug, all the easy, wonderful, yummy frequencies at the end?
I love those flower essences on meridian points. I'm a little partial to that one. And since I have it, let's give it to her.
That sounds really good. These are called flower essences on meridian point, and they're from a book called Floral Acupuncture. And the interesting thing about these is that when you read the meaning of water violet, which water violet came up before, on the lung, the smoking addiction, the maybe related to the breath, the deep breathing, right? Clematis on the bladder, century on the stomach. When we read these interpretations, and an extensive and very helpful guide comes with this and connects the meaning of the flower essence to the Chinese meridian meaning, to all of the other parts that are related in the genius. And it even gives you a visual of where that meridian point is. So it's very, very helpful. So there is a guide that goes with this that most people really enjoy. So should we add all the reds to the quick zap for her?
Absolutely. Let's give her the blues too.
Okay. And at the bottom, we have walnut, which came up before, and then the whole issue on digestion. Isn't that interesting how much this particular panel, which is a different one, is actually matching the other flower essence panel that we looked at? So transitions. So something about transitions and the small intestine. I don't know what I did. Oh, I put these up on the bottom. They have to go up top. And
it's very validating, these explorations, Ariel, because you can tell you're on track when you keep finding them in different libraries.
Yes, and that makes a really great practitioner, is to really begin to sew together all of the related pieces. And those are the ring true parts of that person that you're working with. You know, you get more confidence that you're really spot on, especially when you get feedback from them. You really know that you've really hit something significant.
Yeah.
So cherry plum is a like tantrum, like feeling like you've got a lot of energy sort of built up that you just want to explode and release. On the governing vessel, which is a significant one we talked about yesterday, coming up the mid part of the back. And the Star of Bethlehem is releasing PTSD, and it's on the conception vessel, which goes down the front. So it's really interesting to see those two pairing up. And those are very, very significant main meridians of the body. So we're going to get a lot of energy moving in her field. And then mimulus on the kidney. Mimulus and kidneys go hand in hand, because mimulus is all about clearing fear from the body, and the kidney meridian also about clearing that energy of fear. Any other thoughts?
No, but more on a personal level, in terms of when I speak with my clients, I do a lot of correlating.
Oh, very strange that we've been freezing a couple of times. No, this time it isn't me. It was Lisa's connection. So let's see if Lisa, you're hearing my voice. Maybe exit the webinar and then just log back in, because your feed is frozen. So let's go ahead and stop her video for a moment here and see if we can get her to come back in. Okay, so I don't think it's my feed. Everybody in the webinar, just give me a quick check and let me know if you can hear my voice and you're hearing the broadcast. Okay, so we just got a little bit of a, let's see, there we go. Okay, okay. So I apologize. We'll just see if she can come back in. Really interesting. And while I'm waiting for her to come back in, let's go ahead and run this for 1 minute with all the wonderful flower essences. When you combine a flower essence with a meridian point, it gives you a very specific frequency of the two combined energies. Let's also bring Lorraine back on as we're kind of working through this. And Lorraine, I'm going to, there you go. You open up your microphone. How is this information landing with you as we've been going through it?
It's spot on, Ariel. I know that the inflammation is a piece that I need to work on, and I haven't been able to quite pinpoint what it is, because I have been vegan since November 2019. So it's definitely not diet related.
Totally.
So it's kind of interesting to me, because that is what comes up on my scan most of the time. And I'm trying to pinpoint what is the root cause of the inflammation. So that is spot on. And so thank you for that. And it's interesting working with Lisa there. It feels like I've been working with an angel this morning. And it's
She
almost
is very angelic in her energy, isn't she?
She is. It almost brought a tear to my eye. But yeah, a lot of things spot on. And I do use a lot of the Bach flower essences in all. I start with the emotions. I start with the nojes and always end with the Bach flowers, but I do not have the flower essences in Meridian Point libraries, which is something I need to look into because I work heavily with the meridians as well with all my clients.
Oh, that's wonderful. Oh, how wonderful. Okay, good. We're going to give Lisa's contact information as soon as we get back in touch with her and find out. I'm not sure if she wants an email or a website. We'll definitely get in touch with her because she's wonderfully gifted, just so wonderfully gifted in what she's doing. And it's really fun to work with her and see her intuitive side and see where she goes in the case. And she does it like a fluid journey. She kind of goes from one thing and then gets information and then sort of goes to the next one based on that information. It's really lovely. It's like a quantum biofeedback Tai Chi, watching her kind of flow from one thing to another. So Lorraine, any other thoughts about your experience?
No, it's just been really good. It's just confirmation of what I've been seeing in my own scan and just affirmation on a lot of things. So it was interesting, the part you brought up about smoking, and that as a teenager, I think we all tried smoking, but it was funny because I taught yoga. I've done a lot of yoga, and I was just telling my daughter this morning that I need to get more consistent in my yoga practice again, and maybe that's where the breathing will come in. So yeah, very interesting. And I'm just loving the genius and the fact that I have a tool at my fingertips to help people. And
I feel the same way. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Where are you? Are you an acupuncturist?
No, believe it or not, I started my career years ago as a registered nurse, and then I got into holistic things, and I've been doing the essential oils for over 20 years. I do raindrop. I have my Reiki master. I am a Reiki master. I have been doing reflexology for over 40 years. So I guess, yeah, like Lisa was saying, I'm always giving and helping to others. So that's my calling, has always been my calling. So
She picked right up on that.
she certainly did.
That's absolutely amazing. All right, Lorraine, thank you so much. Thank you for volunteering today, and thank you for sharing your experience of the genius.
And thank you, Ariel, for everything you do and always getting back to me and my questions. And it's amazing. You are amazing. Thank you.
You're very kind, and I appreciate that. All right, Lorraine, thank you so much. Very, very cool. That was really nice, actually, too. I know we lost Lisa. I'm looking for her, but we haven't seen her come back in. So it was nice for Lorraine to sort of improvise a little bit and give us a little bit more about her experience. I really appreciate that so much. And Angela says the same thing. I absolutely love that. Appreciate that. And look at her ending aura. So what we did was we did a minute on flower essences. Let's see if we can. We might have to change the view here a little bit. So let me open up the little viewer here. And we'll look at some of the pictures here because it's a beautiful, beautiful ending aura. So let's see what we've got for her, where we were. Now, remember, this is just a few minutes of balancing. Let's see what happens when we get the photos up here. See where she started. She started back here, I think. And that's what she said. She saw maybe some digestive issues, some gallbladder issues. Just bear with me while I get this viewpoint here balanced. And then we did all the wonderful flower essences, inflammation, pieces that cranial nerves, vagus nerve, things like that. And then we ended up here, and beautiful purple colors coming into the field, starting to entrain those high vibrational energies, the sacred geometry that Lisa had chosen for her. And this is interesting. And this was after doing all of the flower essences that were coming up for her. So after running all the flower essences that were red and blue for her, we came to this. And this, when I see this type of a screen, a type of an aura, it reminds me of a new awareness, an aha moment. And so I feel like there's a lot of new awareness that she's examining it and getting ready to change given the new information. It is called in quantum biofeedback encoded information. And it is indeed both the frequencies themselves, but also the literal communication or information you get to raise your level of awareness about who you are, where you are in the world, what your obstacles are. You know, being able to know that every day. What are my obstacles today? What am I facing? What are my blockages? What am I trying to move into? That really makes your path go a lot faster. You progress a lot faster because you get so much feedback. I think a lot of us try to get maybe feedback from a therapist, which is good. You can only meet with your therapist probably once a week, right? This is instant. And the more information you have, the more you are able to assess and make a decision if you want to make a change. And that is something that it's just priceless when you have the genius to be able to do that for mind, body, spirit, so many things. You're able to learn about yourself. Then as we entrained, that means ran the frequencies of the solfeggios, then we got this. Oh, Lisa, you're back.
I lost my internet connectivity. Sorry, hon.
That is absolutely okay. But look at the beautiful ending aura for your client.
Oh, that's stunning. How does she feel? What was the feedback? Darn it.
Oh my gosh, she said you were spot on. And those are things
Really?
that she's known about, and she's seen similar things in her own scan.
Love. I love that purple glow around her crown. Bring it in, girl.
Is there anything else that you wanted to mention about her scan or thoughts?
I did have some thoughts, but now that I got all mixed up, no, not anymore.
It's so beautiful where you are. Are you right outside of your place or your office today?
Yes, this is my home, my office, my sanctuary, my paradise. This is where I retired to.
It looks like paradise.
It is, and it's very humble living. I live in a little tiny house, and I do all my quantum work donation based. I wanted to throw that out there. I think that I don't want healthcare to be unaffordable. This is my healthcare. I lost my healthcare when I left the teaching profession, and I didn't want to invest in healthcare that was ridiculous. And this is it. I think every household should have this. Thank you, Ariel. You're the best.
I appreciate you so much. How can people contact you?
Oh, I have an email address.
Okay, let me get it down into the chat. So tell us what it is.
EAIRTHYONE@gmail.com. It's like earthy one with a breath of fresh air.
I love that. That's what I thought it might be. Okay, to contact Lisa. Okay, much love to you. I appreciate you so much. Thank you for even coming back on so we can properly thank you. And
until next time.
Until next time.
I appreciate you.
Much love. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. Bye-bye. Oh, that was wonderful. So nice to have her just so we could sort of sum things up with her. Really appreciate that. So you have Lisa's direct contact information. You can get in touch with her. And we're going to be bringing on another guest, as well as taking your questions. So as you've been watching our stream, the event of the year, do you have questions? Is there something that you could know, that you want to know about? What questions do you have? We would be more than happy to answer your questions at this time. What are your impressions? Or maybe tell us, something that you've learned so far that you'd like to share, something that impressed you about one of the people that has been with us during this time. Just give us some feedback. Let us know something that you have observed, or even something your own observation of working with the genius. So if there's something that you would like to share and you'd like us to open up the microphone and have you share that, then absolutely. We're trying to, of course, the guest is trying to get on, can't find the link isn't working, things like that. So we're trying to work that behind the scenes. So if there's something that you would like to share, if you have a testimonial, something you'd like to talk about, if you'd like us to open up the microphone for you, let us know that. And we would be more than happy to bring you on. We do have all the Genius packages now that are going to be available on Black Friday are available right now. So if you want to get your Genius package now, you can go to geniusbiofeedback.com and then click on the information at geniusbiofeedback.com, click on the Black Friday deals, and then you will be able to take advantage of those. Now, affiliates, please also share this with people so that they know that the Black Friday pricing is now available. A lot of people come and watch the event of the year, and they get super excited about getting their Genius, and then they, or hesitate to get their system. So we wanted you to be able to get it right away. And if you have any questions, anything we can answer for you, we have 2 more guests coming up today. And then we will go back to our weekly classes. We have lots of events coming up. Another thing we're going to have is a hangout for the Quanta capsule so that we can talk more about the Quanta capsule. And I know that that's something that people want to know more about, want to be educated more about. So we're going to be sharing that information. Okay, so there we go. We'll see if we can make that happen. Otherwise, we'll definitely improvise and do our best as we always do. So let's see if you had any questions about anything. And I think there was a question back here from Deborah. Libraries. I'm trying to understand the libraries more. And as far as creating our own, do we just write down our list, type it into the Genius? So just by our intention to use particular things, is it picked up? That's part of it. And let's see if we can get her to get in the webinar. Let me show you the libraries and what the potential of the libraries is. So when we go to our Genius and we're looking at system overview, there is a feature up at the top, which is 3 horizontal lines called our navigation bar. At the top of the navigation bar, we can go to libraries. When we get to our libraries, we can hit a plus sign and we can create a new library. So if this was my supplements library, so we could just type in my supplements or my affirmations. That's another good one. There's so many libraries that you can create, and then you save it, and then you start adding items to your library. So if I just start typing in sort of every cell in my body is happy, or well, or something like that. What comes up the minute that you start typing is, how would you like to import your library item today? Archetype encoding, imprinting test plate, and frequency input. So when you're looking at this, archetype encoding is something that was, something that was created by one of the people on our team that contributed to the development of the Genius. And he knows certain ways to give frequencies to letters, to words, and to phrases, because they all have energy, they all have resonance. So this is then interpreted by the Genius when you simply type in the information. And I can tell you from years of doing this, it is very, very powerful, and it really, really works. So you can make your own list of affirmations. And, you can definitely do this. And so you could do this just through archetype encoding. So let's go ahead and put archetype encoding. And so now it interprets every cell in my body is healthy. At those words and the phrase together have a certain resonance or a certain frequency that is then calculated by the Genius and saved. There are other ways that you can do this. It wouldn't be an affirmation. Let's just say it was vitamin C. And then you had a bottle of vitamin C. If you have a bottle of vitamin C, you can take that bottle of the supplements. I don't have anything right here, but we could take like a glass, right, of water or the supplement, and then you just place it on the remedy plate. So as you place it on there and it is connected to the Genius, it pulls that frequency into the Genius. So as we go to the imprinting test plate, if that was connected, it would then pull that frequency and record that frequency to the Genius. Okay, good. We have lots of good questions and comments coming in here. And then one more, let's say we wanted to add in our own 528 hertz. So we could simply put 528 hertz, or the solfeggio, right? 528 hertz. And then we would actually type in the frequency input, 528, and then we would save it. And so now we would have an archetype encoded, and we would have the actual supplement that we did through the imprinting plate, and we would have the frequency itself. So there you have it, sort of many ways to program the libraries. And so Nadej, yes, you can, I don't know if we'll have time for testimony, but we'll definitely see that. Let me just read some of these questions first that are coming in here. And let's go ahead and talk about, how do we get in touch with Angela about the Wednesday class? We are going to share that on the events page. Right now, the events page is just this event, the event of the year, but we are going to go ahead and post the weekly events again after the completion of today. And so Angela joins us through our Genius webinar series. And so her webinar will be listed on the website, and anyone can attend that for free. And let's see, any other messages, any other question? Is archetype just for inputting words and phrases into the Genius? Yes, Amanda, when you say that, as opposed to what? When you say, is it archetype just for inputting words or phrases, what do you mean as opposed to what else would you want to be archetype encoded? Just let us know that. Okay, as opposed to entering, say, vitamin C. You can enter vitamin C as an archetype encoding. So you could definitely do that. If you want to archetype encode things, again, it's going to pick up on the word and the phrase. Anything that you type in there can be archetype encoded. So those are good questions. Let's try to get a little bit more round of questions here as we sort of progress forward. And let's see if we have, I think we're not going to maybe have our guest step into. So Maria, just message me if you think you would be okay with coming on now as our guest right now, if you feel ready. If you don't, that's okay, but just give me maybe a message in the chat if now feels like a good time, as we are having some computer difficulty with our other guest, and we can just go with the flow on that, not a problem. We are live streaming to YouTube, so if you're watching this and you're needing to run out somewhere, you can always get the YouTube on your phone or your iPad playing in the background. So I'm actually going to be doing more live streaming throughout the holidays, and I'm going to be doing some mini tutorials as well as some health excerpts. And so I'll let you know the times that I'm going to be live streaming over the next couple of weeks. I think it's going to be fun. Now that we know how to take this Zoom to YouTube, it's really fun to do this. Okay, sorry, I had to go to an appointment. Will there be replays of everything? Everything is streamed right now and is already ready for your watching pleasure on YouTube. So go to my YouTube channel and subscribe. And day 1 is there, day 2 is there. And after this is done being recorded, day 3 will be there as well. Okay, so let's see if we can get Maria to join us. Just let me know, Maria, if you're not ready to join us, then certainly let me know and we can just go from there. All right, so let's go ahead and see if that will work for you, Maria, to join us now. And we'll go from there. So Maria, is it okay if you join us now? Just let us know. Okay, fantastic. All right, so you're going to see an invitation to come up here in just a moment, and we'll get rolling. It's just like with Lisa, she just goes with the flow. So we will just go with the flow and take things as they come. All right, so let's see if we have the connection here. And let's go ahead and open up the video, and there you go. All right, so Maria, are you there?
There we go.
All right, so fantastic. Maria, how are you?
Well, today is a wonderful day.
And you look fabulous. You're perfect. You look wonderful. And we're so blessed to have you join us. And so Maria Love is joining us here to tell us how she's using the Genius. So tell us a little bit about yourself, how you came to know about the Genius, and tell us how things are going.
All right. I've always been interested in natural health. My mother was always into dabbling with herbs and vitamins and things like that. And she really refused to go to doctors. So that kind of like was an influence to me when I was younger. I did graduate as an occupational therapist back in 1975. That led me to discover that the medical profession was not what I wanted to do. And
can you just speak a little closer to the microphone, or it sounds just a little bit low. So we want people to be able to hear you.
Is that better?
A little bit. We'll keep going.
Okay. Is that better? I'll talk louder.
That's much better. That's much better. Yeah.
Okay. So I did graduate as an occupational therapist, and I worked for about 3 or 4 months. And I just decided it wasn't for me. There was a real collision of values that I had.
Mhm.
So I took that information, and as the years passed, I became a massage therapist, and I was doing that for 16, 18 years. I learned a really specific way of working with massage, and that was what I called muscle therapy. Chiropractor was showing me all kinds of really cool things to do, and that was really fun for a while until my hands gave out. I became a cosmetologist, and I got real sick of the chemicals. So
Oh, wow.
I met a lady that actually did hair balancing. And from that, I learned that you could balance and make a perfect haircut using the mathematical principles of sacred geometry. So I still do that off and on, and it's just the most exceptional haircut. It balances the entire body energy. All the hair grows out perfectly in uniform. So that was really fun for me because it was artistic. I also dabbled in, I've been intuitive and also clairvoyant. So I had a lot of experiences of seeing my past lifetime situations that were happening to me, and it brought to more clarity what was going on with me and why I was feeling what I was. And from that, in the year 2000, I learned how to do what they call spiritual response technique. And that was using my clairvoyance, my intuition, using a pendulum, and using all these different charts that have information on it, so that I could actually go back into a person's Akashic records and see what was happening with them. And their high self would communicate with my high self and would share with me what I needed to open up and what they needed to do to clear their soul. So it became more of a soul clearing. That's what I would call it, a soul clearing. And it happens instantaneously, immediately. And it's permanent. So it was really exciting to use this gift that I have into really helping people. I still use it now. I use what I'm doing is making a whole new program in the Genius with the spiritual response. And it's really exciting because it's something like, well, what if, yes, anything can happen. You can do anything with the Genius. And so I've been running some of the portion that I have already downloaded and integrated into the Genius, and it really works. It's like it saves me an hour, of doing the SRT work. So that's a new thing that has come out for me. And I've always, been interested in health with frequency. I would use tuning forks. I would use the Bach flower essences. I would use emotional freedom technique, essential oils. And I just have a lot of things as a toolbox, and here it is contained. Oh my God, here it is in the Genius. I was going, wow, how cool is that? So
Amazing.
I've just been using the Genius for about 3 or 4 years. I met a person some time ago who also had a scale machine, and she worked with me. It was back in, I think, the early 2000s. And she actually, when I called her to see if she could use a scale for my cat, because my cat was sick, she says, oh, did you know that you can use it on your cell phone? I go, what? So that's how I got involved with the Genius. And I just been so excited in using it. I use it daily. I use it in everything I can think of. So right now, what I'm doing is what has been real successful, unbeknownst to me, it was just like divinely inspired. I was co-hosting a Miracles Intel group, and I was telling people, I was just feeling so much sadness of all the older people that were so afraid of the virus, the COVID and the shedding and everything. And you had just at that time just created those panels, and it came right out of my mouth. Okay, people, I'm going to be encoding all this wonderful frequency in these bands. I said, what did I just get myself into? So I encoded all this information into the bands, things that I had created myself, and also the panels that you had created. And I said, I can't guarantee this, everybody, but I'm sure that it can help harmonize what you're feeling inside of yourself. And I tried to keep it as simple as I could. And then I'm sure you heard that, we announced that too. And then afterwards, oh my God, I had more orders that I could even deal with for the first week.
Let's talk a little bit about the bands themselves. So you're utilizing these bands, the silicon bands.
Yes.
I think you have some of them there. They're very easy to obtain, and everything is consciousness. So everything picks up frequency. And the more that you imprint, show us a little bit about, go ahead and show us what you send to your clients.
There's the big one. I have the big plate.
Okay, you got the boosted plate.
Yeah.
So take things apart and sort of show us one at a time what you've got there.
Well, I just have this right here, which is a silicone band. I have another one somewhere that has writing on it. That's what I put. This is actually for the pain band that I'm making now. And also it's for the vitamin, mineral, and immune band that I made. And then I have, I have these mats, silicone mats. And they're 7 inches by 7 inches. And I infused that with all the toxicity of, the water, of food, of the air, like the chemtrails. And then I also had solutions for that. And I just went and researched all these different, forms of toxins and whatever. I put real good stuff in. I put, archangels in there, prayers in there, just happy things, even affirmations. And my gosh, the feedback that I've been getting from them has just been thrilling to hear, to know that what I've done has really helped these older people. For instance, all the things I put in, I use my pendulum along with the sheets of information as well. That can also help. I put the bands on them and I infuse it with the pendulum and with the energies from my SRT chart. And I always ask, which ones are going to be really helpful for this, for my bands or for my mat. And it would always show me what it is, and they came out really powerful.
When you would ask, like, is it helpful if I put vitamins and things like that? And then your pendulum will give you a response. And sometimes it was really strong.
Right.
Very cool.
It always say yes or say no, and it'd give me a percentage. If I put, vitamins and minerals and the immune system, well, then how about superfoods? How about, other things like herbs? So, I just go, okay, here it goes. Okay, we'll put this in, we'll put this in, put this in. And it's really interesting, the testimonial that I received. This one fellow was on, they don't write to me because they don't like to use the computer, because most of the people that buy this from me are in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, and they're just not savvy, wise. And so they tell me over the phone, and they say, this is a woman. She called up and she said, I have a friend that has taken the shot, and as I was with her, I started getting a really bad headache, and my nose started bleeding, and I had to excuse myself, and I had to go home. Well, it just happened that she got the band. She got this, what I called it at that time, the shedding band, and now I'll call it the protection band. And she said, she put it on, she sat down, and in 10 minutes, everything was cleared up. She had she didn't have any symptoms of the headache, and her nosebleed completely cleared up within that minute or two.
That's amazing. That's so cool. That's awesome.
It's just fabulous.
I know, you helped so many people on that call that have gotten the bands. Like, you are the best sort of person who's looked over a larger population of your clients and really has seen how effective the bands are, because people are skeptical. Could you really infuse frequencies into this? And yes, you can. And we know, especially for Maria, who's been a pioneer in this world, that you can. And so you're using that boosted board. Before that, you used the Remedy plate. And have you been able to connect the wire for your boosted board?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you also play headphones. So you do like a dual charging. That's really cool. Okay.
Right.
I love it.
This is what I do.
And how long do you charge them for?
It just depends on what it wants me to do. Most of the time, it's about 15 minutes.
About 15 minutes. And how much do you charge for each band? Or do you not send out one at a time? Do you only send out a few at a time? And what does the cost look like?
I just charge $15 a band, and mainly because the older generation don't have a lot of the extra cash. And I really wanted to make sure that they were able to do that, be able to pay for it. So I can send up, the most I've sent out is 20 bands. In one envelope. So, I just get the envelope that would be the size that would fit it, and just send them out, mail them out.
Very, very cool. I absolutely. And how many total bands do you think that you've sent out?
Over 1,000.
Over 1,000 bands. Okay.
Yes.
So first of all, that's just amazing for your business. So congratulations as a practitioner. I absolutely love this low cost interaction, because it doesn't take Maria a long time to imprint the bands. She can do many at once, but allows a lot of people to come to the table and avail themselves to the effects of biofeedback. So I think it's absolutely brilliant. Every single person on here who has the genius could start this, could have it on their website, could go on Instagram TV, could go on Facebook, could go on any social media, could share this with friends, could do a phone call, tell them about it. And maybe 10 people order. So that's $150 in your pocket. It took you 15 minutes to basically charge up the frequencies. You could do it just for free as a promotion to say, hey, sample what I'm doing here. I've got vitamins and minerals in here. What are some of the other things? You do amino acids. What are some of the other things?
There is amino acids, or archangels, there's prayers that I put in there. Got superfoods. Different superfoods.
Yeah, superfoods is a great idea.
And anything to deal with, positive affirmations. So emotions, Bach flower essences, Bach flower on, what would you say?
Bach flower essence on Meridian Point. So people asked where the wristbands are. I get mine from Rapid Wristbands. Do you have any other suggestions for getting bulk wristbands?
I get mine on Amazon.
Oh, just at Amazon, so you can price them out. What I've done on mine is I've been able to get sort of some embossed things. I put the Genius Biofeedback name on the inside, and then I have some affirmations that I do embossed on the inside. Now, you're really not going to be able to see those, but they say like every cell in my body is happy. They say abundance and vitality and things like that. So people get something nice in the affirmation. They also get things that are charged into the band. You could also do semi-precious gems. You know, there are bands like this. We're gonna give this away actually as part of your, when we sort of summarize up. This is a beautiful band that we'll give away to someone today that you can basically imprint with your imprinter, with your remedy plate, anything that you want. And you could do this daily. You could charge it and have new frequencies in there, or you could sell them. You could get these wholesale, see what they are on Amazon. See if you can make a deal with somebody on Etsy and say, hey, I want to order 10 or 15 of them, and make this part of your practice. Because another thing that's amazing is when you mail things to people, you can put your brochure, you can put other marketing materials in there, and people love to get things in the mail. So tell us a little bit more about what people's response has been in receiving these. What have they said when they've received the band and when they started using it?
They're always excited. I get a text or I'll get an email. I got your bands today. I got your bands today. And I'm so excited. I'm so excited to wear them. And then I ask them for, like a testimonial afterwards, if they could just write it in the email. And I have one here that I can read. And it's this one lady. She was, let's see, where is it?
And people are asking also, how long do the frequencies stay in the bands for? My experience is that they'll stay there for months. They really don't like go away, dissipate, disappear. You can clear a band or clear crystal with a green laser pen. So if you wanted to put new frequencies in there, if you wanted to clear the gemstones, then you can just take your green laser and just put green laser or green LED would work fine too. And you just take the pen and you just sort of wave it over the gemstone, the band, and it has the tendency to clear energy. I always say laser, but LED is just as good, just a green LED pen light. And it's actually a little safer than using a laser, so nobody gets their eye, caught in the laser or whatever. Yeah.
So this one lady, she's had pain on and off, but mostly on all her life. And back pain, hip pain, things like that. So what happened was that I was sending her just thoughts. Before I was mailing it to her, I took the band and I was feeling the band, I put it in there, I was thinking about her. And all of a sudden a text showed up, and she says, what have you been doing? And I said, well, I was just thinking about you and the band and hoping that the band would do some good for you and help you. And she says, would you believe that 50% of my pain is gone right now just by you thinking about that? And I said, oh my gosh, that's really fascinating. She hadn't received them yet. So when she did receive it, she said, she wore it overnight. She says, oh my God, I woke up this morning with absolutely no pain as I laid there in bed. My hips weren't killing me. I could sleep on my back, my side, whatever. And then she says, how cool is that? She says, Maria, you are a genius. And, this is the first time in 20 years that she's been without pain. And that little band helped her. I'm getting things like this, the mineral band. This one man, he's just been feeling tired for so long. I guess he had some Agent Orange issues, tried to detox that. Well, he got the vitamin, mineral, and immune band. And he wore it, and 5 minutes later, he started feeling the energy. And after that, he was getting up, and he was doing things that he normally would do 10, 15 years ago that he could do again. He says, I have this energy. I can get up and move, and I'm so happy because now I feel like I have a life. Another person, let's see, who had with a corona, she had a corona nasal,
right.
test.
Yeah.
So COVID. And she knew that wasn't right. And then she knew that she was going to have some difficulty with it. And she had actually purchased one of my my mats. I call it harmonizing mat. And so she just said, heck with it. I'm going to put it all on my head. So she slept with it. She put it all on her face and her neck and shoulders. And that next morning, she had these needle-like projections that came out of her neck and her shoulders and her face, which is really related to the Morgellons.
Wow.
And that was fascinating. You know, that it's just amazing things that are happening just out of this. People had dental surgery, people who had, you know, arm or neck surgery or whatever. They get the pain band and then they're out of pain. So it's just amazing. Now I program my bands to be infinite in charge. You know, they're going to be charged infinitely as long as they wear them. So I had people already like 6 months, and it still has the strength to it.
I think you totally found your niche in terms of your experience with the Genius, and it's really exciting. Do you think that you've made back financially what you invested in the Genius?
Holy Moses. I think I've made back about 1.5 times.
And more with 1,000. Yeah,
Yeah.
with 1,000 bands, yeah, probably a little bit more. And so that's exciting to know. And it's really exciting to see people getting such positive responses, but also being able to come in at a price point that works for them. And often that low price point allows so many more people to come to the table. And it's very easy, it's convenient. They don't have to make an appointment time with Maria. They don't need to worry about any type of technology. They just, you know, pay for it, then they receive it, then they put it on. I mean, how much easier can it be than just wearing the band where you're going? It's very easy to do. So we hope that more of our practitioners will try this out and work with their clients that way. And you're really leading the way with showing us how successful it can be to imprint these bands. So thank you so much.
I have this here, and this is this over here is a aura shot before that's spaghetti squash, and that is before the putting on the mat, and then 10 minutes of putting it on the mat, and the aura really changed. And then the other one here on the bottom, this is my water bottle, and of course I drink structured water, so I'm not surprised that it was green and healing. But I just put it on just out of curiosity for 10 minutes, and at all these higher frequencies are coming out. So I have some of those on my landing page.
That's absolutely fantastic. Maria, you did it. You successfully got everything together to join us today. Congratulations. You're great. Let's pick a couple of numbers and give some things away because we didn't actually get to do that. So many things going on today. So will you pick one number first between 1 and 211, and we'll give away this so people can imprint themselves this little bracelet.
Awesome. I'm going to go 211.
211.
Yes.
Just right to the maximum amount.
Yes.
And 211 is Ying Chang. Oh, Ying, I remember. Yeah, she was on a couple of these events. So Ying, you are going to get that bracelet, that beautiful gemstone bracelet. So Ying Chang. And also pick one other, let me show you first. We're going to give away some shungite. So this piece of shungite has a beautiful, that sort of flower or tree of life imprint on it. And what shungite does is it really helps when you wear this to ground you and also to protect you from the different EMFs that are in the environment. Shungite is amazing. It's so powerful. And you could even take this shungite and charge it with other frequencies via your plate. So we're going to give that one away. What is a number between 1 and 211 besides 211? I guess 1 and 210.
How about 33?
I love, okay, great number. Okay, so number 33 is Sandra Carr. So Sandra, if you're listening, or we'll get in touch with you, one of our longtime Genius users, Sandra. So congratulations. And you know what? That's so funny because Sandra is an avid shungite fan. And I know because she's ordered some of our shungite tablets in the past, which people will rest their remedy plates right on this shungite. I'm doing it upside down. We'll rest this on here, and this will become a little grounding pad for the frequencies that you're imprinting. And it really just grounds the energy, and you could have this somewhere in your home as well. And she has ordered so many of these from us. So she is the perfect person to really be getting the shungite necklace, a little gift for herself, as I know that she gives to a lot of people. So Maria, thank you so much for all that you're doing. You are amazing. We love and appreciate you as part of our Genius Biofeedback community. All right, Maria, have a good rest of your day.
Thank you.
Wonderful. I can't even believe that the time has gone by so quickly, and we've gone through 3 days of hearing testimonials from our amazing speakers, people in our community and all over the world. And we heard from Rosanna in Saudi Arabia and other people in different parts of the United States and Canada. It has been amazing. We do have our Genius Black Friday specials at geniusbiofeedback.com. You'll also be getting an email offer about them. On Black Friday, we are going to be having library specials. We are going to be having training, practitioner level courses. And so those are going to be coming out soon for Black Friday. So we get everyone, something for everyone, really. If you enjoyed this, let us know. If you're watching on YouTube, please be sure to like this video and subscribe, share it with people. Please share the Genius. It's one of the most important technologies for our time to get through the tough times that we're going through. Thank you so much to all the practitioners. Thank you to everyone who watched this or watching the recording, and have a wonderful rest of your day. We'll follow up with presenter contact with all of the specials, things like that. So take care, everyone. Thank you again. We'll see you again soon. I will be live streaming during the holidays, so watch for those special tutorials and classes. Take care. Bye-bye for now.